Hi, I'm Lydia.
Hi, I'm Megan.
And I'm Lena.
Have you ever been on a track team or run on your own?
If you haven't, you're not really missing out.
Come on, Meg, you're supposed to be positive.
But everyone knows I hate track and I want to quit.
You can't quit, you know this. You've tried like 6 times.
Yet, I'm still here.
Guys, we don't need to argue about this. Anyways, what I was trying to say was that track is a pretty complicated sport. There are so many things to think about, and the amount of force that you put into your body can be really taxing.
Right when you think you've mastered running,
You realize you're doing something else wrong.
Or you forget a single stretch and you pull a muscle.
it's so easy to do when your body's not ready to run, or you run just a little too fast.
Here's what Coach Luskin has to say about track and injuries. Field athletes get hurt so often.
I think the majority of the reason for us is, for example, we have a few boys and a few girls right now that are either brand new and have not understood the importance of warming up, cooling down, stretching, and taking care of your body.
With the number of times Lydia's gotten hurt, she's pretty much an expert when it comes to injuries.
Why does Lydia get hurt so often?
Lydia's gotten hurt a few times for different reasons. I think, she got hurt once they're indoor because she didn't have enough time to warm up. She's very fragile, probably because of the amount of fast twitch muscle fiber she has. She also needs to still get stronger. So she's broken her collarbone before. She's had a lot of ankle issues, and she's a little soft.
Okay, let's check in with Lydia as she practices today.
Maybe she'll do better than other days.
Well, I think I jinxed it.
Girl, what's wrong with you this
I
time?
think I pulled my hamstring. Is there any way you can fix it?
Can we fix it? Who do you think we are? Physics teachers?
What she means to say is, of course we can fix it, and we might just even know some physics to help.
First, let's figure out what's wrong. We can look around with an ultrasound machine.
What's an ultrasound machine? I thought it was just for pregnant people.
An ultrasound is a nearly harmless way to see inside your body since it doesn't use high energy radiation like other things do. That's why we use it for more than just pregnancies.
If it doesn't use radiation, what does it use?
It uses waves. Waves are a form of simple harmonic motion, which means they oscillate or go back and forth at a certain constant rate. Our ultrasound uses mechanical waves, which oscillate through kinetic energy. Mechanical waves are formed when energy is transferred from one particle to the one next to it to the one next to it. If no energy is lost, a wave can travel forever.
We call this transfer of energy between particles vibration. When a particle vibrates, it just moves back and forth quickly in place. It also is trying to return to a state of equilibrium, which is why it passes energy onto its neighbor.
One more thing you need to know before we show you how the ultrasound works is that there are 2 different types of mechanical waves. The particles can either move parallel or perpendicular to the motion of the energy.
Let's use Slinky to show the 2 types of waves.
First is the longitudinal wave, where the particles, in this case the coils of the slinky, move in the same direction that the energy is being transferred. See, I am putting force to the left and right on the slinky, and the waves are going to the left and right also. Then there are transverse waves, where the particles move perpendicularly to the energy's movement. Now, the force I'm putting in is up and down, and the waves are moving up and down, but all of the energy is still moving to the right.
So in the ultrasound, it creates sound waves, which are longitudinal waves where the energy and the waves are going in the same direction. The energy from these waves cause the materials to vibrate at a very high rate, which means that the sound is a really high frequency. That's why you can't hear the equipment making any sound.
Now that you understand how an ultrasound machine works, can we use it on your muscles?
Yeah, sure. Wow, how does it make that picture?
When the sound waves travel through your body, they find different obstacles in their way, like skin, soft tissues, blood, and bones. Some of the waves bounce back at each obstacle, and the ultrasound detects them as they come back. Based on how far away each wave travels and how many waves come from each distance, the computer can make a picture showing the approximate densities and shapes of different parts of the body.
Yeet. Your muscle has some knots and a small tear in it, but good news is, that it will get better quickly as long as you give it a few weeks of rest.
Thank you so much. It was so nice to meet you, but I hope I don't have to come back here anytime soon.
3 weeks later.
Now that it's been a couple of weeks, I can start track practice again. I've heard we're doing my favorite workout today, starts. I'm so excited.
Oh no, not you again.
What is it this time?
Yeah, sorry. I think I broke my shoulder.
It sure looks like it. Let's take a look.
Do we have to use the ultrasound machine again? Because I loved seeing inside my muscles.
We're not going to use the ultrasound this time, but we are going to use waves to see inside.
Do you remember what type of waves we used last time?
I know they were sound waves, which are mechanical waves, because the particles vibrate and spread energy to each other that way. And weren't there 2 kinds of mechanical waves?
Yep.
That's right, I remember now. So, if those sound waves were longitudinal waves, does that mean we're going to use transverse waves now?
Actually, no. We aren't going to use mechanical waves. We're going to use X-rays, which are a type of electromagnetic waves.
Electromagnetic waves are different than mechanical waves because they don't need vibrating particles around them.
That means they can travel in a vacuum, which is how sunlight gets to the Earth.
That's awesome. But doesn't that mean that I'll have radiation going through me? Isn't that dangerous?
It would be dangerous, except X-ray machines use very little radiation. It would take thousands of X-rays for you to be considered medically at risk.
Okay, I'm not worried anymore. But I still don't really get how electromagnetic waves are different from mechanical waves.
Do you want another visual to help you out? My gym has an exercise that I think will help. Come on, let's go.
These are battle ropes. I think they are a pretty good example of what electromagnetic waves would look like if you could see them. At first, this probably looks like a transverse mechanical wave, but there's a huge difference. In a transverse wave, there were separate particles, which were represented by the coils of the slinky. But here, the whole wave's in just one entity, and it does not need particles to travel through it. The energy the wave started with is what keeps it going forward while it oscillates up and down.
Now that we've explained how an X-ray works, let's pull up the picture of Lydia's X-ray.
The different darknesses on the image are made because of the amount of X-rays that can make it through different materials without being absorbed. Your bones absorb more X-rays than your skin, so the bones show up whiter. The more waves make it through and get picked up by the film behind you, the darker the film gets. Here's your problem right here. See how these 2 bones are on top of each other? They used to be the collarbone, but it snapped in half when you fell, and the 2 halves started sliding past each other. If you don't get surgery soon, the bones might fuse where they are, and your right arm will be weaker than your left arm.